So here is a video on our second hallway that we did a lot of decorating in. For this hallway, it's washed up and deserted, so be thinking about Swiss Family Robinson, muted colors, lots of animals, an overgrowth of plants, a homemade homestead, and tree houses. So some ideas that you could have for some props. Here's some ideas here. We made some crates out of a cardboard box wrapped in parchment paper. You see those all the way down our hallway here. We wrapped those in just brown paper and then used pre-purchased contact paper that looked like wood plank in order to go across the edges. We did some cross pieces, as you can see in these boxes here. And you could also just draw with Sharpie if you wanted to take the time to do that in order to make the paper look like it's wood. We have also in this scene some bamboo fencing that we purchased through the home improvement store, and so that is another idea for you as well. We utilize some pallets. You can see them here, also down here at the end of our hallway. Just kind of lean those against the wall and scattered them around. Some other ideas, we have some netting hanging here, some animals that you can get from the AIG clip art as well. We made these palm leaves that you see hanging down here at this end of the hallway. Those were made used by cutting poster board and everything like that, and so just another way to kind of make some fun palm leaves that are going on throughout the hall as well. Up here we just bought some weathered looking rope and just kind of strung it almost like a garland around. The more weathered the better. Just drape it around your space to kind of make it look like this Swiss Family Robinson type look. We also hung some parrots and other things from our ceilings in order to just create this fun feeling of a deserted island. We utilized some of our animals from previous VBSs, and around this window area here, we covered this window area with some blue clear acrylic paper, or like a wrapping paper almost that you can see through, like a cellophane, just to give it a bit of a look there as well. The palm trees that you see here, I describe those in hallway decoration video number 1, so check that out on how we use pool noodles and bases and everything like that to make those. We also had in this hallway a whole bunch of monkeys hanging either by fishing line, or we use sometimes floral wire up to our ceiling grid. Again, we're using festooning, which is this crepe paper type garland that you can buy through like a prom supply store or something like that. So we liked in this hallway to use monkeys and exotic birds, lizard, alligators, iguanas, crabs, lobsters. There's a whole bunch of digital animals that you can print from the AIG clip art, and you could adhere them to cardboard for stability. It's a great resource to use, and you can keep these and reuse these from year to year depending on the theme of the VBS. Another thing that we did is we purchased some wall murals. It's kind of hard to see, but these are pre-purchased from the local dollar store. I show those also. I'll be showing you some other photos of those in hallway decorating video number 4, so check those out as some pre-purchased wall murals that you may be able to use. We made some treasure maps as well. Actually, here's another good shot of what those wall murals can look like. Before we get to the treasure maps, you can purchase some palm trees. We made some kind of sand dune areas out of cardboard boxes. These cardboard boxes are then covered in a painter's drop cloth, or you could use like a muslin fabric or something like that in order to kind of make a sand dune. We put some netting over it and some greenery that we had, and so that's another a great idea to put there. You can hang up, you can make your own treasure maps if you would like. Those are a great idea to kind of scatter throughout your building. You can make those yourselves. You could use an old map or paint a new one if you like. We took a piece of large brown craft paper, we crinkled it, and allowed a student volunteer to just paint the map for us. And this was a great filler piece for the walls. So lots of different ideas that you can come up with on how you would like to do the treasure maps throughout your building. We also used some thatching throughout here. We used different types of thatching to create little huts type spaces, and just any way that you can frame up a little bit of a hut. We had some wire rack shelving that we used in this case in order to make a little tiki hut, but the thatching we purchased on Amazon. There's also some thatching websites out there as well. You can see how we hung some fish and used some more of those ropes. And here's some more of those cardboard boxes covered in contact paper. Just a whole lot of greenery going on here. The flat paper that you see on the walls behind here was 2 different colors of roll craft paper. And so you see how we're alternating light green and dark green to just change the entire look of our walls. And so what we did is, in a lot of other places we use the same setup. We have a furring strip or a 1x2 piece of wood with some eye hooks attached to it. The eye hooks zip tie or ceiling grid hooks up to our ceiling. It allows us to have a wooden board that we staple to, and so we have one there, we have another one there, and we line our entire hallway with those furring strips attached to the ceiling, and it gives us a nice wooden structure that we can staple, whether it's the grass skirts that we staple to it, the thatching we staple to it, and in this case it is the flat roll paper that we staple to it. We also created some interesting palm trees. This is sort of a design look, or viney trees, I guess would be a better way to put it. Our building naturally has these brown painted pillars in the hallway, so we thought those would make a great tree trunk. So we're utilizing a feature of our building. These are a tree trunk, and then we were able to just swoop some crepe paper, some streamer paper, different colors, light green, dark green, all throughout here in order over a rope basically that we swooped across our ceiling. We did some across the wall, and then each one of these pillars on the side of our walls became basically a tree trunk for these viney trees that are going on all throughout here. The vines on this side are our festooning that we've talked about before as well. We use that all over our building. Another fun little feature that we created were these 2 tree houses. And the way that we created these tree houses was we used some wooden boxes that we use in our children's ministry on a normal Sunday. And these are just plywood boxes that we have that help us every Sunday as a sign, basically. But then we added a 1/2-inch piece of plywood to the bottom and the top, and these are 2x2 bases. And then we were able to take those, wrap the base in craft paper, roll paper. There's some plastic fringe hanging down here. We're using burlap in this case. Burlap's another great material that can be used in here. Some netting going on as well. There's some netting here. There's some more rope and these cardboard or poster board palm leaves. And so we made these fun little tree houses, so we made sure that these were secured so that they wouldn't tip over and cause any problems as well. So there is some corrugated cardboard back here, different fabric materials like we talked about with the thatch and the rope. And so that all going on to the tree trunk base, and then these palm tree leaves up here kind of make it look like the top of the tree. And so down here at the base, we use some leftover gossamer fabric that we have had from previous VBSs. Gossamer you can buy in rolls. It's kind of like a sheer, thin fabric that you can crinkle up and put all over the place. And one other thing that I forgot to mention throughout this hallway, one of the great ideas that we did in all of our hallways this year was we wanted to give it a different look and color feel. So we covered these lights with different pieces of roll tablecloth. You can use dark green, light green, yellows, and just by tucking roll tablecloth around the edges of your light, you can completely recolor your hallways very inexpensively, and it completely changes the feel that you have going on. So hope you enjoy some of these great ideas that we have in this hallway for decorating for Mystery